Welcome, everyone, to the next episode of We Built This White Lake. My name is Stephanie Ware. I'm the Director of Events and Membership with the White Lake Area Chamber of Commerce, and I am here today with Jared Dahl of Tri-County Feed Service. Jared, we're so excited to have you with us today.
Me too.
Share with us just a little bit about your business and what it is that you guys do.
Well, Tri-County Feed Service, we've been around now for 75 years. This past year was 75. We're going on 76 now. Fourth generation family-owned company. It started out with my great-grandfather, Marcus, and then my grandfather, Kenny. When he came back from the Korean War, they partnered up and opened up the location here in Montague. And from there, we've just kind of gone on. Every year has been an obstacle. Every year has changed. Through the generations, lots of changes, lots of different regulations they put on you. So we had to be very diverse. Started out with a lot of grain industry. It was Dahl's Coal and Feed. That began in my great-grandfather's garage, just on top of Ferry Street up there. I should say Stanton and Ferry. And he went in there because he wasn't getting paid what he needed to at the co-op, is where City Hall is right now. And he said, well, I'm going off on my own. So he started shoveling coal and doing some feed from his garage. And once my grandfather, Kenny, got out of the service, they started building and opened up what was Dahl's Coal and Feed in Montague as Dahl's Farm Service. And then over the years, as time progressed, that changed over to Tri-County Feed Service. That's a short story. That's where we ended up purchasing another location up in New Era there, and that was in the early 90s. And that's where Tri-County came from, was servicing 3 different counties.
Okay.
Now we're up to 13. So the name, the brand, everything is there. So we're going to keep riding that out. And every year, every month now, it seems like things change so rapidly. We just are keeping up with the times. If my great-grandfather was to walk in the store now with what we do in Montague alone, he'd just be perplexed, because it was just a bag of dog food and cans of dog food. And a lot of the times, the 50-pound bag of dog food would go to the dogs, and a lot of families would actually buy the cans for themselves if they were on hard times. So things have definitely changed. Over the years, we're just trying to keep up. So all the changes that we've made is because it's what's in demand. It's what people want. At least we like to think that we're doing what people want. And
yeah.
We're still around. We're still doing well. And we definitely feel the support from the community, because the community is what built us. And our ideas is what's helped us keep going. And we're always thinking about what to do next, or what can we do, or what should we not do anymore. So things come and go. You might see changes. A lot of people there's been a lot of changes in Montague. There's been a lot of changes at our New Era location when it comes to the bulk feed industry. We are a lot larger than what we used to be when we were just accepting things off the rail cars. Mm-hmm. When that time changed and there was no longer a railroad coming through, my grandfather and my father at the time had to think of new ideas. Okay, what are we going to do? And actually bought the place in New Era and moved all that bulk industry up to New Era, because the town of Montague, I can't say they didn't want us. Mm-hmm. They just didn't want that. That was it. For us to be where we're at now, Montague could not support that. There's just we'd have to move entirely out to Industrial Park, and that was a battle back in the day with my grandfather and father, where they were trying to make us move out to the industrial area, because they figured we were just manufacturing and that's it. We're not just manufacturing. We are a retail outlet. And so we came up with another plan, and now it's really worked to our benefit. We were able to grow and keep building the business up in New Era. We've purchased more land, so expect to see some big things in the future. We're not old and stuck in our ways. My brother John and I and my partner Emily, we all have great ideas, and we're all really pushing to keep growing and bring our name to the table with some of these big companies we work with. They look at us as kind of a diamond in the rough, but we're not so rough anymore. We've really taken some great leaps and bounds to make a name for ourselves, and when it comes to service and quality, our whole business model is service, and that's why service is in our name. We try to make sure that you walk in the door, you feel like you're part of the family, you feel like you're respected, you're appreciated, you're wanted, and that's where we start. First thing we sell is our smiles, and I really try to make sure that all my employees and anyone that works for us understands how far a smile will go and how much a hello, how are you today will take you in business. And starting out with a hi, hello, how is the weather for you today? How is everything? How is the family? We know a lot of our customers by first name, and that is really huge because I look for that when I go to other states, I go to other cities, towns, I walk into small businesses, I search for them, and just to see, what do you guys do to make your town so amazing? And that's where you usually get a lot of answers of what's going on in town and how people are. So I make a point to stop in these little stores and chat with them, and then, conversation carries on from there. And you might pull some ideas from them and bring it back home and say, hey, this might make people feel a little better. Customer appreciation days, making sure you're in the parades, things like that. Just being out in the community. That's a big part of us. So we're very, very, very tight-knit with the community, because without everyone out in our towns or even adjoining towns, we have people that drive all the way from Ludington, people come from Manistee, they come from all over the place. That's amazing to me.
That says a lot, because you're right, this is a close-knit community, and that being community-minded is important to everyone in this area, and that's awesome. And to be fourth generation is so rare. That's incredible, and you guys aren't going anywhere. You're going to keep going and going, and that's amazing. And the ways you guys have had to adapt, I didn't think of it like that from the railroad industry to now, and how much that would affect a fourth generation business. So that's incredible. Well, I guess you kind of already told us how it all started and where it all began, but that's okay. Where it all started, it had started in your great-grandpa's home, right? His garage or upstairs. How long have you been at the physical Montague location?
It started building in 1950.
Okay.
And 1952 it opened up.
Okay.
So it took 2 years to build that place.
So 71-ish years of the 75.
75, including the years that he was operating out of his garage.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very long time then. So you'd mentioned how each year has come with a new challenge and a new hurdle. What are some of the biggest hurdles the company has had to overcome?
Some of the biggest, I'd say, could be, dealing with new regulations that the FDA and Department of Agriculture puts on us, and things we have to follow when it comes to, I'd say, employees. That's always a hurdle. New products, it's growth. Trying to figure out what's the next step, and then getting the banks to agree that your ideas are good. That is a big one. And I'll give a lot of props to my brother John for really having the foresight to tackle that. He saw it early and really strongly believed that there's potential here, and he got a plan for the growth up in New Era. I'm talking specifically for the growth that we've done there. Got an idea, had a plan, and went right at it. Went to the banks and said, "This is what we can do. This is what we project in the future. This is the route that everyone is going." I mean, you look around. There's a lot of farm industry. There's a lot of grain out there. So we wanted to be able to keep that grain in house instead of going over here and going over there to get your products. Let's try and bring more in house and service these farmers that are right in our back door. Mm-hmm. Instead of them going to another location. Now, there was other co-ops. We were never a co-op. A lot of people just think of a feed mill as a co-op. We're family owned. We're not a bunch of different people that own the company. Mm-hmm. So that's a big difference. But anyway, that went off. That's some of the biggest struggles, is always making sure we make the right decisions, because anything really you do in our industry, it's a large investment. Mm-hmm. And it's not like you're going to get a return right away. This is going to take years. Some things might be right away, but usually that's, when you get into the pet foods and things like that, treats or horticulture, those sorts of things, that's a seasonal, that's kind of a constant when it comes to pet foods. And that's why we really pad our business with a lot of the stuff that's a constant, because not everyone's raising animals all year long. Yeah. It's a struggle in the wintertime. You know how Michigan is. Not everyone's got water that doesn't freeze. Mm-hmm. But that I'd say that's some of our biggest struggles, aside from what might be, I'd say when it comes to lawyers and things like that. When people have mistakes on their farms or some death, that's usually, fingers start getting pointed, but it's not our fault typically. But if you get sick, you always blame the food. You know how it is. So.
But it sounds like that's also some of the ways you guys have adapted, because you started carrying those constants like the pet food. Yes. You guys have had to adapt to that. What would you say, though, are some of your biggest victories?
Biggest victories? I'd say what's most important to us, our victories, we see a lot of our employees happy. They start out without a family, start working with Tri-County, and soon they get engaged. They get married. They're able to buy a house. They're able to have children, feed their children, and we're right behind them the whole way. And they grow with our company. That our employees are by far one of the most important thing to us. And we really try to make sure that they feel like family. And we want everyone to be part of our Tri-County family. And that's how we view things. Me personally, if you were to ask me, that is some of our greatest victories. Some of the business's greatest victories are, the growth. We've got larger, we've got more storage, we've got more trucks for hauling. Like I said, we went from servicing 3 counties to servicing 13. So we are traveling all over the place. When I go to any of these fairs, which we go to a lot of fairs, or when I'm even just out of town, I've been out of state and someone recognized me, which is kind of seems ridiculous, but I'll hear, "Hey, Jared," turn around, like, "Oh my gosh, it's Ben." Like, "What are you doing here?" I've been in Tennessee. I've run into someone. I've been in the UP. I've had customers come and tell me that I've never seen before. They're like, "I got to get this product." Like our apple berry corn is super popular, and I asked the gentleman, "Where did you hear about it?" He's like, "I was in Alaska." It's like, "Alaska?" He's like, "Yep, I was there for 47 days. We were going down the river, and I was talking to a gentleman on the trip, and his brother's cousin told me I need to go to Tri-County. When he found out where I was from, he said, 'You got to go to Tri-County and get their apple corn.'" And I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man." We're talked about in Alaska just on a trip, which I think that's great. Wherever I go, it's not like I get excited when people come up and they're smiling. Mm-hmm. Never had someone come up and just get on you, belittle you, degrade you, say anything bad. It's always positive stuff, and that just, we must be doing something well if we're always greeted with a handshake and a smile. I love that. That's also one of our greatest feats, I'd say. One of the best things is people aren't always mad at us. I'm not saying there isn't someone out there. Can't please everyone, but that's one of the greatest things is everyone's got smiles when we come around. So
that's incredible. And that Alaska story, you'll remember that one for a long time. That's incredible.
Yeah. I called my cousin out in Alaska. I was like, "Hey man, have you heard of us out there?" He's like, "Only from you." Like, wow. I try.
So someone out there in Alaska heard of you. That's incredible.
Yep. Out in the bush too, not just in town. They were on the guy told me they were on a hunting trip for that long, going down river, and came back empty-handed too, which that'd be horrible.
Well, that part's not awesome, but hearing about you guys, that's a great story. How would you say that your business has impacted the community?
How it's impacted the community? I hope in a positive way. A lot of the people around here, whether they're hunters or farmers or backyard farmers, I think it's impacted in a great way. And I could say in my time with Tri-County, my time being behind the register, being there every day, during COVID, that's when I really realized, like, I knew what we did was important. At least I thought it was, because I love what I do. I love what I do, and the people that join me every day while I'm there working. During COVID, that was, we were pulling our hair out. I went gray during that time. That's where I went gray. It was just lots of hours and lots of just trying to figure out what people wanted, because we saw an influx of business because they were saying, you can't go here, you can't go there. Well, we were open the whole time. There was no, hey, I get to stay at home for months and figure out life and figure out a different way. We had people that were walking down the street and they come in the store. They said, I've lived here for 20 years, drive past this place all the time. I finally got a chance. I'm going to stop in, and I feel dumb for not coming in sooner. I had no idea you guys, I thought you were just a feed mill. Or I thought you guys just had pet food. Got signs all over the building. I mean, you can read and kind of get an idea of what we do, but until you come in, you don't really know. And that's where I saw we had so many people coming through the door and so many new faces. And it really blessed our business in a way, because people got to talk to us and found out that they want to be more self-sustainable. That got real popular at that time. And so when that happened, I was like, wow, here we go. This is going to get fun, guys. So let's forget everything going on out there in the world. Let's make people feel warm, comfortable when they come in. Mask up, do all that good fun stuff that we had to, and try to appease everyone's needs. But let's show them something that they were missing or didn't know they wanted. And I've seen a lot of people turn in from, just a business person, or they just a day-to-day, just go about life, to get excited about flowers, get excited about gardening, get excited about, any little thing, new pets. Oh my gosh, the amount of puppies out there that happened during COVID. Holy cow. The shelters were empty. That was amazing. Mm-hmm. That was amazing. It's sad to see them full again, but that right there really brought to life our small business, where you still get that hometown feel. That's what we never want to lose. We never want that to go away. We don't want people to think we're going big box, that we sold or anything like that. For some reason, I have people coming in asking, well, why did you sell the business? We didn't sell the business. What are you talking about? Because Rivers. Mm-hmm. Rivers it's a sister company. And what's going on right now, where there's hardware now, we're a sister company of Rivers. That's my business partners have ventured off and they started doing these things. That's just, it's more growth. It's serving more the community even greater. I mean, empty buildings not being used, great ideas put in motion, nothing to frown about there.
No.
They've brought Rivers has brought great products, great service, and that whole side of where you can take what would be considered a big box store, ball it all up, and add our service values, our business model of how we operated for years and years, put it into there, and kind of reform the way people think about a big box store. I use that loosely because it's Ace, but it's got our face. You know, we have the ability to make it what it is, and we're giving back to the community and at many different levels now, from all the way from Oceana Builders up to Grand Haven now, where there's another Rivers. So they're all milestones in life and in business, and it's a wonderful thing that I'm seeing unfold and helping being part of to unfold. It's good stuff. So yeah, from COVID to just kind of expanding, making things a little better in the community. Now I still have a lot of those customers that have never been in the store. They're always at the store. It's their favorite place to come and visit. I, for one, am kind of perplexed by it sometimes, but there are people that come in just to stop by, say hi, bring in their dog. You know, it's fun. That's what kind of lightens the day when you're having a rough day and you see one of your favorite pets come walking through the door. I don't have to take them home. I don't have to feed them. I don't have to take them out to poop, nothing like that. I just get to scratch them behind the ear, give them a little treat, shake the hand of the person, not scratch them behind the ear, and send them on their way. So it's fun. It's fun.
That's great. And I like what you said, that it's growth and that's nothing to frown about.
Yeah.
That's a great statement.
All positive growth.
Yeah. Do you have any parting message that you want to leave all the viewers with?
I'd say if you haven't been into a business or you drive by a store all the time, like every day, you drive through Whitehall, you're on your way to work. If you've never stopped into a place like Pitkins or the Hokey Pokey or Fetch or North Grove or any of the businesses, local businesses at the town you live in, if you haven't ever stopped into one of them, just take a moment, stop in. It might not be your thing, but you never know what's hidden inside. So I would say definitely make that a point. Just do that. And be kind. Be kind. Smile a little more often. You know, be happy with what you have. There might be others out there that are struggling a little bit more, and it's really easy to make the day go by smoother by smiling, laughing, having fun, enjoy what you have.
That's a really great message, especially headed into the holidays of stop into a shop you've never been to. You never know. You're going to find the perfect gift for someone or for yourself, or discover something you didn't know about, and be kind. Any time of year can be rough for people, but yeah, the holidays can be, and be kind. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Love hearing about the history of Tri-County Feed Service. I know that last year we got to recognize you guys at our chamber annual dinner. And I just remember the feedback from that, even on social media. The community was so excited to celebrate that milestone with you guys. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.